Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu, Rich and Michael here to take you through another big weekend of equality at Rosehill Gardens. And, well, we're coming into this fresh. We had a week off last week, but I know you love those meetings at Randwick, Mike, those soggy conditions, and reading the form that day, we seem to get the job done.
Yeah, when the conditions are changing, you can get the edge on the bookies early. When you see a mutter at a dry track price, you've got to pounce early, don't you?
Yeah, got to be pouncing on that Thursday night. That's what you do come up with so often. Really find a bit of early value. That's what this show's all about. And I mean, some of this rain around as well. The punters have had to go from a dry Rosehill to a wet Randwick. The weather god's up in the air this week. I mean, it's a bit like that Eagle Farm Doomben scenario.
Yeah, it's been up and down here, but so much more up and down up in Queensland, hasn't it? The big form turnarounds from Eagle Farm to Doomben. If you backed all those horses that failed at Eagle Farm that were short in the market back at Doomben, you would have made a huge profit. Big turnarounds up there. All
right, that's one way to look at it. But look, that Queensland Carnival we know is wrapping up. It's our job to get the job done in Sydney this weekend. And the first leg of the quaddie at Rosehill Gardens is race 6, and it's the Kensai handicap. And look, a lot of these horses coming into winter, I mean, they're just generating their own battles, aren't they? Supply and Demand gave a big kick to beat Toucan Chew, Allegria, So Willie and Montauk last start. And that's one form line. And then outside of that, we've got Sultan of Swing. He rattled home in the last race on that same day.
Yeah, Sultan of Swing. He was the Sultan of Surge that day, wasn't he? A massive run, and Darren Flindell got excited. Let's have a look at the way he sets up and the other runners. A handicap, the highest rating race on Saturday, 2,000 metres to kick us off from the quaddie. Lots of these races have a fair tempo. We're predicting soft conditions on Saturday. I think we're heavy 8, heavy 9 Thursday night with improvement and dry weather on the cards. And we're pretty confident about that bias. Rosehill, rail true, wet track, fair to off rails is usually the case. So across the 3 key factors, based on those conditions, soft track all afternoon for us. Distance, which these horses like the 2,000 metres, and with so many horses with similar form, maybe the speed map will make the difference. Position and run's a key factor too.
All right, well, let's have a look at the market here for the first leg of the quaddie. And like I said, Supply and Demand got the job done last start. So much form around that last start with a lot of these horses. And there he is on top, $3. Toucan Chew, second to that horse last start at $6 there. So Willie and Allegria, they're chasing home in the same race. Sultan of Swing, well, he may be close to recapturing some of that Kiwi form. But look, punters have really got to ask themselves here if anything's changed from that really strong win from Supply and Demand.
Yeah, we get 2 replays to show on the key factors, don't we? And there's an obvious replay to kick off with. There's so many of these horses coming through this race 2 weeks ago, same track, slightly short over 1,800 metres. Supply and Demand for Waterhouse with the lightweight, kicking away from them. The interesting thing to look at in this run is the 2 Waller horses, Montauk and So Willie, fighting for the same space. Yeah. Not great for stablemates. I'm sure Waller wasn't impressed. They don't get out to the 225 and finish off pretty well late, Stu.
They do, but look, out in front, Supply and Demand went clear on the turn, and look, just kept kicking to the line. Strong win.
Yeah, looks impressive. It's just where those 2 horses got held up from the 4 to the 200 metres, not the right place to get held up. Their last 200 metre sectionals were huge. They were unlucky.
Okay, a bit of unluckiness there for a few of those favourites. Let's go back a couple of starts where, well, they both had a fair luck, let's say, this day.
Yeah, we've got to have a look at this replay and look at fair luck and a soft track for these 2 favourites and see what happens in that scenario. Supply and Demand, look a little bit wider here in the brownie. Did had every chance, you've got to say that. So Willie with better luck this time, back on the inside on a good ride on the red and green, and he was really impressive this day, wasn't he, Stu?
Yeah, never really gave up. That's what I love here. Just comes in, weaves through and finishes really, really strongly along the inside.
Yeah, he's a horse that we know has got big surge, so 2,000 metres should be okay, and he can quicken on a soft track. His power rating was good on that race.
All right, couple of looks at a few of the favourites there. Take us through these key factors here. We're looking for the gold, as we always do.
Let's have a look and see which horses love a soft track, and first, second, third favourite all love a soft track, don't we? Down the page, we know Destiny's Kiss. He'll love a soft track as well. Not many big knocks at all for those 3 favourites at all. Toucan Chew gets maybe a slightly better position in run. And down the page, there's old Mighty Lucky. He was stuck wide in that race last start. He'll love getting barrier 2 just behind the leaders.
All right, we're excited to see a few of these ratings. We've mentioned a few unlucky runners there, but I can see 2 gold bars for Toucan Chew and So Willie. Let's have a look at these overall ratings as we bring them up, and well, there they are. It's Toucan Chew on top, So Willie. We can't split them. Supply and Demand, the favourite, in behind.
Yeah, Supply and Demand right there in this race. He can figure in the finish, but surprising to see him so short after we just saw So Willie beat him fair and square a couple of starts ago. Choosing between Toucan Chew and So Willie, they're the top raters. They're both equal odds. Both really hard to choose between. Waller at home, soft track, so consistent. We'll take So Willie each way as our best bet. We know he's going to be storming home in the end. Like we said, he can quicken on a soft track and can finish off. Toucan Chew could be better if you like him third up. but we'll go with Mighty Lucky. He's massive odds, as he always is.
All right, so much form from that race just a couple of weeks ago. Well, let's look at the first leg of the quaddie. Let's jump straight into the second leg. It is the Schweppes Handicap, and what a great race this is. I mean, it's only benchmark 85. I reckon a few of the trainers in this race, they really fancied it until they saw a few of these acceptances. I mean, Godolphin would have been pleased the way Badajoz returned, and then they saw Pioneering, who wasn't too far off Pearls and Dixie Blossoms last year, and then there's a Tamworth filly, Fickle Folly, placed behind Artistry in a Group 3, and Magic Alibi also third in a Group 3 to Heavens Above. So there's some serious form in this.
That's amazing form. It really takes you by surprise, this race, when you kind of look through the form and you see those really good horses coming back, and some of these trainers would have thought this would be an easy kill. It's definitely not. Benchmark 85, 1100 metres fair tempo. Again, the soft track we talked about, the fair to off rails we're expecting all afternoon on Saturday at Rosehill. Probably more off rails as we get later in the day. Across to three key factors. Look, soft track for us all afternoon's got to be a key factor, especially in this race. Distance, 1100 metres is a specialist distance range, and so many fresh horses, stage of preparation has to be a key factor too.
All right, well, let's have a look at the market here, and it just smells like a race. It's going to have a lot of moves in between today and by the time they jump on Saturday. But look, Badajoz is on top there at $5, looking to go one better than his fresh run. Pioneering and Surplus Fresh. Surplus, a bit of money in there from $9. We've got Secret Trail and Fickle Folly right in the finish last start. Magic Alibi, Prince Famous, they're great fresh. But look, this is $5 a field, and really got to guess where this money's going to go.
It's amazing. 5, 5, 7, 8, 8, 9. I mean, it's such an open race, and so many replays you can look at to try and get the form references here. We're going to go a little bit left field, a little bit early, and have a look at a couple of barrier trials and see how these horses are going fresh. Starting with Prince Famous. In the light blue in the lead here, over 900 metres at Rosehill Gardens. Pioneering back in the pack in the purple for Waller.
Yeah, look, Prince Famous, we know this horse goes really well fresh. Got to love the way, just hands and heels out in front here. But yeah, what do we make of Pioneering here? I mean, just ridden very quietly, wasn't it?
Well, she loves the soft track. First up at a soft track, perfect for her. We're really interested to see how she's going. This is such a quiet trial. They don't touch her, do? She's going fine.
Going fine, just doing her things all the way to the post. There's one trial she was in. Let's have a look at another one, and this pretty much sets up the same way. Another very, very quiet trial from Pioneering, but we've also got Zara Bay engaged.
Yeah, so many good horses returning fresh, including Zara Bay, who's really underrated over 1100 metres. She ran a big race at Rosehill Gardens last preparation over 1100 metres where she smashed the line. This is her trialling last time out. Really strong up the inside. But once again, Pioneering is almost the one that catches your eye. The jockey's jagging her back there. She's flying. She's going really well this prep for sure.
Yeah, that is just jagged back. Not too much happening over the line there. She's probably going to be ready. That's a typical thing. Let's have a look how these trials set up. Anything to note here in the key factors?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really hard race, and we've got to use these key factors to differentiate. No Knox Badajoz, soft track 1100 metres. Maybe second up a slight risk. Sometimes you can take a slight dip in the ratings. Looking down the page, if you're looking for negatives, maybe Surplus, Prince Famous and Zara Bay would have preferred a drier track. We know Prince Famous and Zara Bay do race well fresh though. Magic Alibi and Fickle Folly, no knocks at all for them. Lots of positives.
All right, lots of positives, but you did show us the replays of a couple of trial winners. Then we sacked them on the soft ratings there, so don't know really where to look with all this gold. Let's have a look at the overall ratings to see where it all fits in. And well, there's the reason. Look at that. 11 down to 8.5. This is a really stacked field, and I think that's about 5 runners there within about half a length.
Well, yeah, sometimes you see these stacked fields and you feel slightly depressed, like we always say, and sometimes it's because it's just not a very good race, but this is the opposite. This is a pretty exciting race. So if you like a horse in this race, don't let us put you off it. There's lots of great horses returning fresh that can run big races, and it is a stacked field, so manage your bet size, bet small, bet for value. And there's one that stands out based on those ratings, Magic Alibi. I think the money's already coming, Stu, I think, in the market. So soft track, 1100 metres, no trial, very sneaky. She'll be flying home. And if it stays soft, let's go for those 5 top raters as a value bet trifecta.
All right, always good value there in a trifecta, but Magic Alibi for the second leg. There's a look at the first 2 legs of the quaddie this weekend at Rosehill. Stick around and we'll be back after the break to wrap it all up. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We're halfway through the Rosehill quaddie this weekend, and look, we're up to the third leg, and look, there's a couple of really interesting imports to look out for here. We've got Numia, named after the sunny reefs of New Caledonia, and then Waller's got this French import Cars Off, and he ripped home at his first Aussie run. But look, one's a rank outsider for this race, and the other is the well-back favourite.
Yeah, Waller and Godolphin can turn these imports into fantastic local horses. We obviously know about Hartnell, what a great Group 1 horse he was, and one I remember, My Kingdom of Fife for Waller, first up at 100 to 1. You've got to keep an eye on these horses. Benchmark 78, 1800 metres. Fair tempo again, soft conditions we've talked about. The fair to offer hours we're quite confident about. So looking across the three key factors, we're going to see soft track again. Yes, we are. Distance, 1800 metres, quite a specialist range. And scope, some of these days are on the up and some are plodding around on the same spot.
All right, well, let's have a look at the market here for the third leg of the quaddie, and the money has come for one of these imports. Cars Off, $5 into that $4 today. Really well supported. Collateral there, looking for the hat-trick. We've got Speed Hero off that wide run last start. Multifacets there. The lightly race third in behind. But look, punters really happy here to stick with Roller's French Recruit in Cars Off.
Yeah, got to have a look at this horse in a replay. It's been well backed, and surely first up on a dry track, 1600 metres at Warwick Farm. A horse that's been running on over 2400 metres in Europe, does nothing. But that's not the case, isn't he? Gets out the back in the black and white, gets to the outside and does plenty, Stu.
It was a long way back, got to the outside, loves the way he just works home here, and there's some really good form in around this win.
Yeah, massive form lines. Polorius Jack's Flying, who wins. Life of Brian, he beats, who won next start. Reneged, he beats, who won next start as well. Big run. All
right, well, from a classy French import there, we're going to go to the Nowra Cup, and there was some pace on this day with Brogue, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is a big run out in the lead. Brogue going really hard for Benny Pena, setting a strong tempo. King's Officer back in the pack with Bring Luck. They're both running up the inside off a strong tempo, making decent ground. The one thing you've got to note is that King's Officer gets a little bit of bad luck just before what we see here, and he probably should have won this race, the horse in the white.
Oh, yeah, just saw it there. But look, there's Brogue out in front. Bring Luck along the rail. King's Officer, he doesn't finish it too far behind, does he?
Yeah, right there in the finish, and he'll like a soft track.
All right, well, look, there's a couple of replays. As we do, take us through these key factors. Where's the gold?
Yeah, bring up the gold bars and have a look which of these horses are favoured. Cars Off, no knocks at all. Every single metre will be a benefit for this horse. So the distance, a gold bar for sure. Waller horse, an import on the rise. Scope, he has to have a gold bar. Look, a really interesting runner is Bjorn Baker's new recruit this preparation, who's got upside as well. This is his first time he's had this 5-year-old, and it's improving all the time. Speed Hero and Thard, not guaranteed to get the 1800 metres. They could, but they need to prove themselves. Down the page, King's Officer and More Than Fabulous. They'll both love a soft track.
Okay, so Cars Off there. We've got 2 gold bars. The money's come. Sounds like Huey's going to have a lot of pressure on him here in race 8. Let's have a look at the overall ratings, and well, there is that French import, Cars Off. On top there, 12.5. Collateral, well, look, he's right there just in behind as well, but look, the main thing to note here, I think, 1, 2, 3, yeah, that's all about the market. So we're saying the market's got this right.
Yeah, we think the market's got it right, and there's a couple of gaps there, and now you've got to start working out whether or not the odds are good enough for you to take based on how confident you are. And a length back to second, 2.5 lengths back to third. That's good enough for us. I mean, he's decent odds, I think. He's each way odds, Cars Off, and he could simply be better than them.
Okay.
He could be on his way to black type form. You never know. He's a Waller stayer on the rise, so we'll go with him. The second favourite for Baker, he could be a bet too if you like him, but King's Office is the one we'll pick out for value. Good barrier, third up, soft track, tick, tick, tick.
All right, sounds like a lot of positives there for Waller's import. Cars Off in the third leg of the quaddie. Let's wrap it up in race 8. It's a tab.com.au handicap, and yep, they've done it to us again. A full field, 16 runners in the day, 5 apprentices, a 10 kilos spread in the weights. But look, a few lesser known trainers in this race. It's not stacked with your Wallers. It's the Nick Mitchell. I mean, he's got 2 runners in this, and John McArdle, well, he's chasing the mud coming up the highway with Kapaya Prince, and really hoping the rain gods, appear to cover those petrol costs.
Yeah, this time of year it's the rain chasers, aren't there? So many horses up and down the east coast looking for a wet track, and he looks like a big grinder, doesn't he, that horse? Benchmark 78, 1350 metres. Fair tempo again, good to see. Soft 5 to soft 7, and definitely off rails, we think, by this stage of the day. Across to the 3 key factors, soft track again. Look, Rosehill Gardens has to be a key factor in this race. There's an amazing stat here. 66 starts at the track for these horses for 3 wins. That's 3 from 66. And position and run, the speed map will make a difference. Some of these favourites are drawn wide.
All right, a lot of non-winners here at Rosehill in this race. Let's have a look at the market here. Let's hope everyone's still alive in the quaddie. Wild and Famous, well, kept chasing First Hand Fresh. Heads the market at $5. Pick Me Up and Invincible Night. They weren't too far away in that same race. And here's, we've got a couple of these emergencies here, really hoping they get a run. Francesco and Pacaya, and all in the reflexes. And there's Pacaya Prince, and that's in from about $13. So some money there. But look, it's really this first-hand form that, well, from the market perspective, that's what the punters like.
Yeah, good to have a look at that replay. A few of these horses come through that first-hand form line. So let's have a look. Wild and Famous getting a good run in midfield, coming to the outside and quickening like he does. Pick Me Up. Fresh, first up on the inside, running on well. Invincible Knight, similar colours, just behind him on the rails, just getting held up slightly. He gets held up a couple of times and finishes off well too.
Yeah, Wild and Famous down the outside here in the blue. Thought it was going to get the job done, but there's first hand in the orange, sticks his head out. But yeah, just looking there, a couple of those interesting runs in behind.
Yeah, Wild and Famous has had his chance. 8 starts to the track for no wins. Dream Lane, don't knock her out because she finished off okay. Not one of Corey Brown's best rides there.
All right, well, for the second replay, we're going to go back to the midweek. So we're going to have a look at one of these emergencies. Let's hope it gets a run, all in the reflexes. This is over 1,300, and this is a big girl that gave a big kick.
A huge kick, a huge mare with plenty of power, and the reason why we're excited about this horse is she's got all the things that you think would make her suit a Rosehill track. She's big, she's powerful, she's got a great turn of foot. She's never been to Rosehill before. She's got every right to peak on her run here because it was a strong tempo. We're excited about her at Rosehill on Saturday.
All right, bit of excitement there getting to Rosehill. Let's hope she's not part of one of those stats. Let's have a look at the key factors in this. We're looking for the gold, bring it home.
Yeah, lots of questions. A position run on the right-hand side there to begin with. So many of these favourites drawn so wide. Wild and Famous, Pick Me Up, Invincible Knight, terrible barriers. Wild and Famous has had his chance at Rosehill. We talked about that before. Pick Me Up, Invincible Knight, only a couple of runs there and they're probably on the way up as well. All in the reflexes. We talked about her. We're so excited about her at Rosehill and she gets the gun run. Maybe the risk for her, she doesn't want it too wet. Dream Lane, she's the mare that will like the wet.
All right, well, we've got 2 golds there for the 6th favourite, hoping for a little bit of sun, as you say, but the wide barriers, yeah, could be a bit of a jinx for a few of these. Let's have a look at these overall ratings as we wrap it up at the last leg of the quaddie, and, well, geez, not a lot of love for a few of these. Some very low scores there, 8.5, a long way down, but look, there's the reflexes on top. There's Pick Me Up and Invincible Knight not too far away, but this is pretty stacked as well. Yeah,
so stacked, and there's so many question marks on these horses in this race to finish the day, and all in the reflexes. Jason Coyle, this is a personal plea from us to you. Don't race her earlier in the day. Race her in the last race. It's going to be easier for her. Hopefully the track dries out by this stage. And she's so well placed from a good barrier all in the reflexes. We think she's going to really love the Rosehill Garden surface. We don't need a value bet. All in the reflexes for us each way if she runs. Third emergency, please, Jason, run her in this race.
Well, let's hope he's watching. You sound very confident here, so come on, the weather gods. Come on, Jason Coyle. Let's wrap it up as we've got to do here. We've got to get the punters home with a quaddie. We've had a look at some emergencies and imports. We've got some big value in there. What's in this quaddie?
Yeah, I mean, we could have gone really, really wide. It's a tough day, but we've tried to keep it as tight as we can. Race 6, there's the top raters, supply and demand, and so really looked at them a couple of times, and we think supply and demand might be a bit short, so if you want to be brave and leave him out, you can. Across to race 7, if the track dries out, almost anything can win this race, but if it stays soft, they're the 5 for us. I'd like a soft track. Race 8, Cars Off huge first up, Collateral Flying, Kings Off the value, and race 8, they're the 4 horses we think, or we hope, can break that Rosehill Gardens hoodoo.
Yeah, I still can't believe that. What did you say, 3 from 66?
That's the stat, an unbelievable stat, and one of these horses has to win, don't they?
They sure do. Well, look, it's going to be all important to check out the race guides this weekend to see how your horse does perform at Rosehill. It's going to be key all day, but that's it all from us here at the Race Guides Key Factors. Hope you jag a big piece of the quaddie this weekend, and we'll see you back again next week.
Cheers, good punting.